All right, hi there. Welcome to the Lost State Show. I am Trey. This is Drew. Say hi, Drew.
Hi, Drew.
Welcome to the show. Today's going to be an exciting episode. Today we're going to be going over a little bit of a topic that might be a little of a hot topic. Wait, what? A topic that's going to be a hot topic. We're going to be presenting from Hot Topic new studded belts. Turnstile, they won a Grammy, or a couple Grammy. What did they win? Let's see. 2 Grammys. A hardcore band. I guess some people would be like, they're not hardcore now, but I'm like, there's still hardcore elements. They won 2 Grammys. A Baltimore hardcore band won 2 Grammys. That's kind of wild. I think it's cool. I feel like I saw some varying opinions just from Turnstile blowing up and getting attention to where they're at now. Like, some people are like, this is like equally like the sickest thing for hardcore, but also like the worst, because like there's like a level of like subculture people, or like hardcore is like underground and this and that, and then they're like, but like it's for us, not everybody. But I'm like, wouldn't you want something that means a lot to you to be accessible to other people? But it's in my opinion, I think what ends up happening is people go, oh, Turnstile sells, and then all the big companies and labels, and everyone just wants to jump on that and then beat it to death until no one likes it anymore or something. So I get the concern and the gatekeeping. I understand why some people would be like skeptical, and I am skeptical to an extent of being like, this is not the best thing to take a small niche community of people that it means a lot to and try to blow it up into a capitalist massive. I mean, you got Taco Bell commercials with Turnstile songs. They were coming out at the Winterhawks game to Turnstile. I forgot what songs, but it's on the new album. They were coming out on the freaking rink blasting Turnstile, and I'm just like, oh wow. I'm like, Turnstile, and some dude next to me is like, blah blah blah, like some dude was just going hard, and I was like singing to myself, and I'm like, this guy's he's getting it right. But yeah, I don't know. What's your opinion?
It's pretty insane to like. I think I would like to label the whole shift as kind of more punk than hardcore, because like
I'd say that too. Yeah.
They're definitely more of like kind of like a punk band now, but I don't take away from the hardcore side of it though, because they're definitely like all hardcore people. They're played in hardcore bands their whole life. That Turnstile is, still a hardcore band. But with this new record, it's like how many songs? It's like 12 songs, but 6 of them are like ambient like
there's
production
like
pieces
too.
So they're definitely like, they were building like a bigger idea. They put a lot of work into it. I think that work deserves credit, and it's really cool to see it happen to them rather than something that, like, when you see your world that is really small in the punk scene overlap into like really major world stuff, it's like shocking, because you're like, you see the same, you see these people in basements, and then they're at the Grammys, and that's wild. And people get really like crazy. I think people are generally cynical. Like, there's always someone that's gonna like hate on everything, right? So like, then the hardcore community has a lot of that, this like snootier kind of like, I don't know, nose uppiness sometimes when it comes to outsiders coming in, because they hold that dear. So I think I see the discourse. I understand it. Yeah. I feel like it comes with the territory. But yeah, it's a great achievement for anyone, like, I'm not hating on it. That's awesome. I mean, and it's just like, the spread of this record is pretty insane. Like you said, hockey games, and my a friend of mine that isn't like into the punk stuff, like, just like loves the record, and it's wild. All the work they're putting into to even get there, and how much they want to alter what they're doing. Like, it's a lot of work for that. So it's cool to see. But it's kind of weird. It becomes like you become like numb to it. Like, you see all these names that we've been seeing for years, and we're like, oh cool, they're bigger than already, but I've known about them forever. Like, Joyce Manor's been around for a long fucking time.
Joyce Manor's been around for since 2000. I think like 6, 5, 4. Hold on.
Yeah, and like, I remember friends sending me videos of theirs before there was good quality videos on YouTube. Like I remember like seeing early on Joyce Manor videos. So it's the fact that they're even still going is crazy. Eventually, you're going to change something. You know,
I guess it was 2000.
2008. Yeah, that's crazy. That's so long.
Yeah, 8. That was like 50 years ago, dude. That's crazy. I'm just kidding. Look at Barry.
Closer to 1960 than it is to now.
This picture is so funny.
Yeah, that's really funny.
Portland, May 13th. Yeah, for $63.
Yeah.
Not for me, baby.
Oh yeah, dude. I was talking about it. I literally like I can't be a supporting punk anymore, not because I don't want to. I just literally can't afford going to the shows. Like all the love in the world.
I know
all the love in the world, but a lot of that change, like with COVID and stuff, and that's great. Like people deserve more money, artists deserve more money. Like that's all fine, but yeah, that over.
No, I know. Well, it's if you look at it from inflation, especially once they get agents and this and that, it's like. It's understandable, but it just sucks though, because you used to be able to. It's not like you're getting your parents' money to borrow to go to a show, and you're like, "Oh, cool, mom, can I borrow?" Like, when I was a kid, I'd be like, "Yo, can I borrow like $50 or something?" She's like, "Okay." Like, so Turnstile, we'll get more into this. Let's get into some fun.
Well,
stuff.
Yeah. So I did want to say something. I think the just like one note about the thing, because I don't see it talked about enough is Turnstile, this record, and I like Glow On more. I think Glow On's an insanely good record. Never Enough is great,
I like it a lot more,
but it's not as many hits. You know what I'm saying? That's all. But they both Glow On and this record very similar. There's no other band I can think of that created a record like that, and I think that's really special. Like, because there are bands that like a lot of bands sound the same, like a lot of hardcore bands, a lot of punk bands, a lot of whatever, they sound the same, which is why they don't stand out as much as certain bands. But seeing a band like this, like most of it's written by Brandon. He writes like literally like quoted 98% of everything of the band. So like in this idea, in this one person's head, they created a hybrid fusion record that is very unique and not heard before, which I think is why it stands out so much, because
it's very,
and I think that gets lost on like the people who don't want the genre to change or whatever. Because like I wasn't a huge fan of Turnstile back in the day. Yeah, I honestly was like, I was on the side of where they kind of sounded like 311 to me, and I was just kind of like, man, because it wasn't quite there. But then Glow On came out, and it really changed me. And
we both were like
fantastic to do that. So.
That was that came out what 2022. It feels like it was the other day.
You know, it's just important to note that, because a lot of people just like throw away the fact how hard it is to write a record. Like, it's so hard to do that shit, and people just like throw it out like it ain't no thing to do.
Especially if you look into how much work they put into like the videos and like his whole art, and he directed all the shit they did. Like it's an art piece.
Yeah, the vision is massive.
It's massive and it's beautiful, and the cinematography is amazing. I'm like,
that's why I think it deserves the Grammy type treatment. Like, because like it's really more than just a record, more than just 10 songs or 12 songs. It's like there's more to it. Now, in my opinion, I like Glow On because I
for what it was, substantially such a massive thing that happened, and them getting huge. It's stuck in my brain in a place where also it's just like the Never Enough. It's good. Like I was just listening to it the other day driving, and I'm like, it grew on me a little more after listening to it. But it's just, you can tell it just honestly sounds like. I honestly think it's a lot of B-sides.
Like, you know how certain movies are made to get awards?
Yeah, of course.
Like, there's like a movie that's made to be Oscar material. That's how I feel like Never Enough was like created and crafted for the possibility of getting a Grammy. So, you know what I'm saying?
Would you?
Whereas the other one's still just kind of a punk record that is transcending and great. So I sent some videos because talking about where they started and all this other stuff. I figured it'd be cool to see Brandon Yates first. Well, not first, but like last serious band, Trapped Under Ice.
So
which
they're
is,
not a band
members
anymore,
of other
right?
bands like Angel Dust. I think they still
Every once in
play
a while.
like when the money's right or when the gig's right for like This Is Hardcore Fest or something though. I don't know the last time that they did it, but I know that there's been reunions somewhat recently.
Yeah, I remember seeing a show.
But yeah, so Brandon, the singer, played drums in Trapped Under Ice, and it's so old that there's these older like Good Fight and stuff like that, which I haven't seen in a while.
I just remember I didn't know he was the drummer. He was always the drummer in this band, right?
Yeah. From what I know, he was pretty much always the drummer. Yeah, that was him. Yeah.
Didn't look like
I think he's got like blonde hair in this video.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That guy's missing a lot of teeth. Oh yeah, look at him.
There's a bassist from Turnstile right there.
Throw me another one.
And then this is like an even older one that I thought was fun because they're so young in this. Man. So imagine going from that to that outdoor show that we were just talking about.
Yeah.
There's Paul.
Yeah, the East Coast hardcore vibe is a little bit. It's a little different than some of us. I like it.
It's definitely like, it's not bad, you know. What it was. Yeah,
They don't know.
I think Green Day must have won something.
Dude, Green Day. You see Green Day at the Super Bowl? Everyone was like, "Oh, they chickened out," and I'm like, "Did they say anything about ICE or anything?" And like, they just said "fuck America" or something, like in American Idiot, "Someone and a fuck America" or something, and it got edited out. I was like, "Oh, okay." Like, I wasn't, I'm not sitting here going, Green Day better be the arbiters of fucking political justice at a Super Bowl performance.
So many Grammys. But once again, after it was like American Idiot on, it seems.
How about bro, Dookie didn't get a Grammy? What the fuck? It's never enough. But anyways, yeah. So Turnstile. All right, let's dive a little more. The guitar. So I want to know. I don't know anything about him. Guitarist left the band. Blah blah. So he left. There we go. Oh, why is it showing Green Day? I'm clicking. Okay. Disgruntled ex-Turnstile guitarist fired by his new band for the Rising Turnstile. So, like, I'm sure some of these guys are friends with them, and they probably just were like, dude, what the fuck is your problem, dude? It's like, yeah. But he made accusations that they fucking took $4,000 out of the money to use for merch, but then was just pocketing it. I think was the statement. And so it's like, he's saying like that's pretty damning. Like, make it someone without like actual proof or substantial like evidence. Like, not that like Brandon
and it's also looks pretty bad with what the set did afterwards.
I think that is what put the dagger in like any kind of like conspiring against Turnstile from anyone. So it's like, oh dude, Turnstile's funny chair. I didn't have the actual link to like for. Here we go. So it says former Turnstile member Brady Ebert has a new band and newfound boldness to shade his former bandmates. The guitarist has made allegations against his former bandmates. I just wanted to read the actual statement. No one in Turnstile cares about all the ethics and social issues in general, he wrote. They're just pandering to their audience. Then he alleged that the band's first free show, they all claimed all proceeds go to healthcare for the homeless. Brady Ebert claims that Turnstile's frontman Bernie Yates stole money from a charity concert. Ebert claims that the band raised $10,000 at the show. He also claims that Turnstile frontman Brandon Yates later stole $4,000 from that revenue and claimed that he did it because he needed to pay the merch bill. Ebert said he believed this was false. Also, I mean, that alone itself to do that is kind of if you're going under the guise of like, we're doing this whole show and it's going to charity, and then you just pocket like half of it, not a good look in general. If that is even remotely true, not the best look. I can understand that if they're like, well, we got all the merch, and they were gonna like use that merch to split more money, and they're like, hey, we got to pay for the merch to get made, or to pay for the merch because we knew that we'd make some money. But who knows what the agreement was? Maybe the agreement was that they're like, hey, we're going to split the money with you, but we also have to use this to the merch, and then maybe we'll split some of the merch cut with you. If that was like the setup, I don't think there's anything wrong with that inherently, because it's all money going towards the charity. So if you're going to use some of that money made to pay off the merch that you already are getting, when you get into charity stuff like that, it gets a little sticky.
Yeah, I don't know how merch works in the big world, because like that's probably massive amount of merch, that it could be all upfront stuff, for all I know. But for like for the smaller stuff, like you're not getting product without paying for it. So it seems wild. But like when it comes to a massive thing, I'm sure it's a more of a liquid chain where it's like yeah, it gets printed. I get the money by this date after the show, whatever, this and that. It's like a different business transaction. Also, the issue, it could have gone to that too. Like I don't know. Like,
well, it sounds sketchy. And if he's, I can't not take his stance into account that there might be a truth in there, because there might be a truth in there, and a lot of people will jump to have we not learned our lesson of every band and other people where they're like, no, they're innocent, right? And then, oh shit, the guy did assault this girl, oh my god. Like, I do not hold everyone to a pedestal that they're like infallible, and you should never do that for any artist, for anyone. And I think that the more we all start going, let's all just hold our thoughts and wait till we see exactly what happens.
Yeah.
But it's hard when you think, oh, this is kind of sketchy or skeptical, but you're like, I want to hold thoughts, but then they're going on and winning Grammys, and they're getting so much praise, and they're just like, and I can only imagine from a petty standpoint of like the guy, he's probably pissed. I don't think he would be saying this if there wasn't any truth to it. Because why would you just be
that's the thing too. It's just really serious, right? It's really serious to say, just like out there, because like
that's defamation.
There's definitely different ways that you can it puts you in trouble. So that's where I'm like, there needs to be something that comes after it. I guess that's what I was trying to say. I just wasn't saying it right, because like,
oh no, you're
because like just being like, here's an accusation that now could be held against me legally. That's like wild to just be like, I would ask him about this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like something to be like, or, hey, can we bring this up now that we can talk about something? Can we talk about this publicly? Like something that's like a little different. But it sucks to see this stuff happen with Brady, because like I not knowing anything, and just like it seemed like a big blow happened, whatever reason, maybe shit was going right and he was getting in a band again. And I was hyped to see that, like, cool, get back up again, write some cool hardcore shit, like hell yeah. And then watching the videos, because they've been popping up from his friend who's in that band, or whoever the bassist of that band, they were like just recording videos of like, he's like hyped. He's like, I got the Riff King back again, this and that. And like seemed hyped to just be writing music. And then for this to happen, like, that's brutal. Like, that sucks to see all this. Like, I just want people to be happy and play riffs and not have all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? Because like, no matter what, like, I also don't like the drama and I don't like false accusations too. So obviously, like, if that is real, I don't want.
Here's the thing, Turnstile, they're gonna have to make a statement at some point. They're very calculated, and quiet. They're gonna either have to say, I think silence is complicit in some ways. So if you just fucking think it'll go,
and that's what was rough with the other one too, right? Because like with the pepper spray kid, it was a lot. It was like a gap between hearing anything. Because I remember people talking about how it was like they haven't said anything.
They said after, like, it's very cowardly for you to spray paint to spray the kid in the face. I'm just like, I don't know. I thought
it was one of their bigger outside shows from the Glow On tour, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, here's the issue with that. One of my friends, she's from Virginia. It's happened in Virginia. When we were working the Turnstile show, she was like the manager doing merch when we were selling for Turnstile, and she said that that's like pretty normal. I think at shows sometimes cops just show up, and like they have security and everything's being handled fine. Cops show up and they pull out pepper spray and just start fucking macing kids in the face, and they're laughing. He's sitting there like just waiting for that kid to come up so he can mace him, even though there's like a bunch of other kids. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not even so much anything to do with Turnstile as if anything was their fault. That's not what I'm ever claiming. I'm just saying that I just wish they were a little more louder about how it was fucked up, and instead of just like making I don't know if their statement, it said they made a statement. Like, oh, this is kind of lame. Like on social media.
Yeah,
Like, on
I found a website.
Like,
there's like 4 different videos of body cam of footage of it of after it happened.
Oh, really?
There's a five different body cam videos of like
here's this story after the Grammys.
and
I'm like, did they say anything?
Causes outrage.
And I'm not sitting here that Turnstile has to speak up and be so over the top about stuff. I just think that if you have that platform, people would like to hear you. I'm not saying that you have to, but people would like to hear you stand up for like shit that needs to be said. And or if you're signaling on your social media all the time about fuck ICE and all those other shows, like you think you would try to say something important when you're like on fucking national television as a band that's hardcore that usually rebukes fucking propaganda bullshit and other.
Yeah, it seems like really like it seems like they're being told what to say,
well,
like
their
to
management
keep safe
probably,
or something, you know, like
I mean, I get that.
Like, and I don't, you know, agree or not, like that just seems like that's what's happening.
The message,
like they're massive now, right? Like that's
well, here we go. The message came after the Baltimore hardcore band received blowback from the hardcore community for not getting political during their 2 acceptance Grammy premiere ceremony. In an Instagram post, I'll pull up in it. The band shared footage of singer Brendan Yates' speech from Best Rock Album, along with the following written statement. On Sunday, I mean, that itself goes, well, we didn't say anything because we're told we shouldn't say it. But they're like, well, on our Instagram, we could say it to our fans, but not publicly because we don't want to like ruin our public image. So for me, I'm like, okay, well, if you have real strong feelings about shit and your management's telling you no, I can get that. But like, what are you going to do? You're going to get dropped by your fucking label? Like, I mean, you guys could get on any fucking label you wanted at this point. You're fucking huge. You won Grammys. You know, I mean, but there's contracts and stuff. It's, you know, on Sunday, our band won 2 Grammys for Best Rock Album Metal Performance. We never thought we'd be in these rooms, but we are very grateful to be here. The band has never been about an individual, but rather about a collective searching for a common thread in a world where those threads are being hidden from us. The world likes to tell us who we are and what we're not, but the truth is we belong to nothing and we belong to everyone. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's just very vague in my opinion, but like, I'm not trying to be a hater. I'm just like, it's so fucking like someone wrote this for something. I don't know. It doesn't sound like something they would say.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, it seems like,
okay, here we go. We are watching people being pushed to their homes here in America, in Palestine, in Sudan, in Iran, everywhere, as if they don't belong to them, as we don't belong to each vehicle for voices that are buried, that are alien. Turnstile has always existed as an alien thing. Nod to Alien Boy. Thank you for our family, our friends, partners, our peers for continuing to shape us, give us a sense of belonging. Thank you to anyone who has ever come to a show and swung in the dark with us. Thank you for our team who fight for us to be in the room. Thank you, Baltimore, for giving us a stage. Thank you to everyone who allowed this band to be a mirror for this community. I think it's not so much that they have to do anything specific. It's just that I think a lot of people just expected probably be a little bit more vocal about. Like, to me, I'm like,
well, that's what hardcore is. That's like, you know, that's,
you see, like,
you know,
white,
they won
like,
a Grammy. They're not a hardcore band. That's the argument, right?
Yeah.
It's like, you're not, you know, they're a Grammy award-winning band now. They're not, you're
gonna take an award for this metal. I mean, it's like nothing makes sense anymore to an extent. Like, you know, it doesn't.
That's it's not about. It's just like it seems like it seems very calculated and safe, is what it seems to me. Like then. Like I said, I don't know. It's just fucking bullshit. It's definitely none of it's punk and attitude, you know?
Yeah. And I think, you know, punk, you know, people have different renditions of what they think punk is and what punk really is. And I'm like, punk isn't about a single person. It's not about a scene. It's not about how you dress. It's not about like, it's about, I mean, at the end of the day, I guess it's about people getting together and connect. I mean, everything comes down to like a social experience, in my opinion.
There's also things at play, like what if the Grammys told them they weren't allowed to say shit without a massive fine and they couldn't afford it? And like the people that did say it could afford the fine, you know what I'm saying, because they were bigger names.
Yeah, no, I mean,
there's just a lot to it. Then with none of it being said, this is like the same shit. It's like just guessing and guessing and guessing.
Well, you know who doesn't?
You don't know all of it, and you know it's all weird, shady, you know, smoke and mirrors. So you can't say it all. That's,
No.
you know, business.
And who am I to
business.
sit there and think in those positions? If I was sitting there, I'm like, I already have enough anxiety as it is in everyday life and other shit where I'm like trying to be like, hey, if you say anything like this, you're gonna get fined thousands of dollars and this and that, or we're gonna take it away. And you're like, yeah, the pressure amounts to a lot when you're in situations. But I think for the people that fly off and don't give a fuck and still speak up and all this other shit, I have a tremendous amount of respect. I still respect Turnstile and what they're doing, and they're still pushing that narrative of like, hey, fuck ICE and all this stuff, and they're still doing what they can, but they're also like in an echelon of like, see, if I was like fucking homies with one of the band members and stuff, my perception of like thinking they should be saying more, and if it was someone I knew who was like, dude, well, like, I'd be more sympathetic, obviously, and I'd be like, hey, they're doing their best, you know, they just can't say certain things and this and that, and you know,
it's hard to play a devil's advocate, especially in a time when you're not like there are like serious moral things at play. So when you try to play devil's advocate on some really seriously morally fucked up things, you're like, it sounds like you're being like, you know,
complicit.
Like
you're complicit, like, or you're blasé. Yeah, you're like, I don't give a shit. Like, it doesn't affect me.
Yeah, which is that's not how I feel either. It's just like, it's so hard to digest it all, and then I don't want to like assume one way or the other, because all that does is get me in trouble. You know, it gets like that's what gets people in trouble, is like too many assumptions one way or another. I hate that any of this is happening. I also hate that, you know, if that is true, I hate that happened. I hope that was paid back accordingly, you know,
or there was some other stipulation.
What if it did happen and it was immediately paid back? You know what I'm saying? Like, who knows? Like, it's
or maybe they asked, hey, can we do this? But we'll pay. Yeah, we don't know, and we're not going to make statements that we know for sure. Anyways, thanks for being here. Next episode, we're going to be doing a listening party of the new Converge album, and then also talking about another topic that we will bring up that show, because we still don't know what we're doing, because we both have ADHD.
Yep, very true.
We like to we function on impulsality and just impulsality. That's probably not a word. Sometimes we think of things fast and we move fast, but sometimes slow. But also, I'm rambling. So love you. Make sure to follow the channel, Lost State Studios. We'll see you next week. All right, everybody. We're gonna go out of the show with the hit song "Scam" from the band Clubber. They're a new band out of Pennsylvania.
Out on all streaming services in 2 weeks.
See you later.